The lead story on primetime on NDTV, the Taliban taking over Kabul and the establishment of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. As the Taliban took control, scenes of horror today at the Kabul airport. At least 5 were dead in the airport chaos. The Afghanistan airspace is closed. Thousands are now stranded. The Taliban has also seized the presidential palace in Kabul. Faced with an uncertain future, Afghans are rushing to banks or the airport to get out in any way possible. And let's go across now to Vishnu for more. Vishnu, as we speak, we know that over 150, some say up to 200 Indians are currently still in the embassy compound in Kabul, and there's no news on when the Afghanistan airspace will open. What's the latest details you have on that?
Well, it's a very tricky situation. I think we should sort of place it like that, because as you mentioned, the ambassador is still over there. It was 200 strong people this morning who were still present in Afghanistan, 100 of them security staff, 100 of them diplomatic and consular staff. The key issue now is, should India choose to evacuate, and it appears increasingly imminent that it's just a matter of time, they need to get to the airport. In order to do that, there's a curfew in place. They need to somehow find a way of getting to the airport. Once they do, presumably there's an aircraft over there which would fly them back over here. So it is a very tense situation right now. Many other embassies have actually shortened the number, reduced the number of people on the ground in the last few days. India has a huge interest in trying to be over there. But given how the security situation in the last 24 hours has deteriorated further, with Taliban visible in the green zone of Kabul, the most high security zone, there's been a decision which has taken place that, look, we should perhaps consider the possibility of getting out. Now, there has been a first statement made by the External Affairs Ministry. The Kabul security situation has deteriorated. It's changing rapidly. The embassy, in touch with Indians who wish to return, in touch with Afghan, Sikh and Hindu communities, will stand by Afghans who've been partners. Now, the broader picture over here is, what does this mean for India? Now, in a snapshot, we have had problems with China. Yes. We've had problems with Pakistan. We have now yet another neighbor with whom we have a problem, a potential big one. Till a couple of days back, one of our closest allies, a country where we pumped in $3 billion of aid. We've built their parliament, we've built their dams, we've built their highways, we've trained the Afghan National Army partially, given them military equipment, we have trained their teachers, we have provided medical aid, many Afghan nationals here in our country right now. That friend, now under the Taliban, that's a different equation altogether. How India negotiates that relationship, we don't know. But think about it, Sonia, China, Pakistan, and now Afghanistan, areas of huge concern for India.
Absolutely, and with the rise of what we say is the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, the Taliban calls it, what will be the security impact on India as well? As you pointed out, in the great games played over the decades in Afghanistan, India's development stakes extremely high. How will this unfold? But of course, right now, the safety of our fellow Indians currently in Afghanistan is top priority. And the UN Security Council is currently holding a special meeting on Afghanistan. It's come much too late, many would say. The UN Security Council has said the world can't just watch as the Taliban takes over and if human rights are violated in Afghanistan, especially of women.
Chaos, unrest, uncertainty and fear. Much lies in the balance, the progress, the hope, the dreams of a generation of young Afghan women and girls, boys and men. At this grave hour, I urge all parties, especially the Taliban, to exercise utmost restraint to protect lives and to ensure that humanitarian needs can be met. Conflict has forced hundreds of thousands from their homes.
Well, let's go across now to a journalist on the ground in Afghanistan. We are not naming him for security reasons, and he joins me now. What is the latest situation in Kabul? We saw that in the morning, what happened at the airport. We saw hundreds of Afghan citizens there trying to get onto planes any way possible. 2 people plunging to their death, 5 people killed. What is the latest situation in Kabul tonight, the first day after the fall of Kabul?
Hello. Kabul right now is, you could say we are going back to the dark ages. You could say we are not going back to the dark ages. It's right in the middle of that. We can either have security and we can either go to the dark ages. Right now, Kabul, people are in their homes praying that some miracle might happen, praying that the current situation with the Taliban is going to improve, and that the Doha meeting should or would get something positive out of it.
When you say it, also when you say that tonight that it's in a very precarious position, nobody's sure what's happening. What exactly is the situation on who is likely to be the next president in Kabul? Has there been any indication? We saw the Taliban take over a local TV station. What's likely to happen in the next few days? Any news on when airspace will reopen?
Right now, it's just speculation. Some people are saying that Ali Jalali might be the next interim president, and Dr. Abdullah will be his vice president. So as Mullah Haibatullah, but this is not confirmed. These informations are just circling around the media. For now, people are just waiting and looking because all the leaders that they are used to, all the leaders that they used to depend on, they are right now they are gone or either in hiding. So they don't know who to look up to and what to do. They are just praying that the Taliban keeps their promises and upholds the promises that they are making, that they will bring stability and safety to the country.
Right. Thanks so much for joining us for that latest updates. Please stay safe. As I said, everybody is hoping that for the Afghan people, at least, that there will not be bloodshed. Thank you very much for joining us live from Kabul. Meanwhile, moving back to domestic political news, the BJP today started a series of Jan Ashirwad rallies that will cut across 22 states in the next week with all 39 new ministers of the government.
A massive public outreach by the BJP's new union ministers with few COVID safety protocols in place.
एक सीट छोड़ के लोगों को बैठाया है और उसका पूरा प्रयास मास्क लगाने का भी किया है, लेकिन थोड़ा लोगों ने कुछ आश्वासन दिया कि नहीं कुछ नहीं होगा। मन में मोदी और योगी जी के कार्यकाल में इतना अच्छा काम हुआ कि लोगों अंदर भय खत्म हो गया है।
The party's plan is for 39 new ministers to cover 20,000 kilometers in the next week. The BJP calls these the Jan Ashirwad Yatras, or a journey for people's blessings.
While this is a yatra that's taking place across the country, it does hold special significance for Uttar Pradesh, given the fact that assembly elections here are due in just the next few months. Many ministers from the state have been inducted into the union cabinet recently, one of them on your screens right now, and that is why many of these yatras taking place across Uttar Pradesh today and in the next few days.
Uttar Pradesh's 7 new ministers reflect the party's caste and regional priorities just months before crucial state polls. 3 of the new ministers are OBCs, 3 are from scheduled castes, while 1 is a Brahmin. Kaushal Kishore, a new minister of state, is seen as the party's Parsi face in UP. Parsis are the second largest SC community in UP after Jatavs, who are traditionally seen to be voters of Mayawati's BSP.
ये जनता को जो सुविधाएं हैं हम जो देने का हमारी सरकार कर रही है, ये सुविधाएं सपा बसपा कांग्रेस की सरकार ने नहीं दिया। ये जनता से आशीर्वाद लेने जा रहे हैं कि ये सुविधाएं आपको बरकरार रहें और ज़्यादा सुविधाएं हम दे सकें, इसलिए आशीर्वाद दीजिए, फिर से बीजेपी की उत्तर प्रदेश में सरकार बने।
In Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore, no COVID protocols as Union Minister L. Murugan started his yatra. Mr. Murugan is a former state BJP chief from a scheduled caste and was made minister as the BJP looks to do well in local body polls coming up.
எது சாத்தியம் இல்லாம இருக்கிறதோ அத்தனையும் சொல்லி ஏமாற்றி மக்களிடத்துல வாக்குகளை வாங்கின பிறகு இன்றைக்கு அதுல சாத்தியம் இல்ல இதுல சாத்தியம் இல்ல அப்படினு மக்களுக்கு கொடுத்த வாக்குறுதியை நிறைவேற்றுவதற்கு மனமில்லாமல் திராவிட முன்னேற்றக் கழகம் இந்த அரசாங்கம் பின்வாங்குகிறது என்பதுதான் இதை காட்டுகிறது.
Similar processions in capital Delhi too, with 2 high-profile ministers, Hardeep Puri elevated to cabinet rank, and New Delhi MP Meenakshi Lekhi, the Minister of State for External Affairs, holding yatras. With Sam Daniel, Sunil Prabhu, and camera person Vineet Verma, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Well, moving now to good news on vaccinations. Today, over 80 lakh doses were given. This is the highest after June 21st. It's a record, so that's a great number there, over 80 lakh, when the average in recent weeks was closer to just over 40 lakhs. So good news coming in there. And today in Mumbai, the first Monday after local trains are available now for fully vaccinated people in Mumbai as well.
Finally, the freedom to travel for thousands of Mumbaikars waiting to board local trains, Mumbai's lifeline. They have to be fully vaccinated and 14 days past their second dose. Jayant Mukherjee works in a general store in Churni Road, about 15 km from Dadar, where he stays. He used to travel to his store by bus, which would take him over an hour. By train, it is just 15 minutes. Currently, 16% of Mumbaikars are fully vaccinated. From Monday, over 170 additional trains are added, a total of nearly 3,000 trains, 95% of pre-COVID services. The Chief Minister has warned if the numbers go up, however, there will be a lockdown again.
A lot of Mumbaikars can now hope to get some relief after the local trains are open for common public. Government hopes more people will be added to this, and this will also mean that the rush at the vaccination centres can also go up. In Mumbai with camera person Praveen Ji Rohit, this is Purva Fitness for NDTV.